So I recently received a story from a follower, let's call him Chris, about a family story involving a harrowing cryptid encounter that comes from his mother. And this was back in the 1980s in the Lake River Barren area of Kentucky. His mom was the middle child. She was about 12 at the time. Her parents, Chris's grandparents, had gotten divorced, and her mother had remarried and moved in with her new husband way out in the Kentucky holler. And every other week, his mother and two aunts would go and stay with their mother and stepdad. One day, his mom's younger sister, his aunt, and started to hear strange sounds coming from the woods. They sounded like tree knocks. She ran inside to tell the stepdad, and he didn't believe her until he started hearing these wood knocks too. But he brushed it off, saying it was probably nothing. But then next week, Chris's grandmother had come home late one night, and she came inside looking really concerned. Apparently, she had started to hear some strange noises outside and thought she had seen movement around the house. But the stepdad brushed it off, and that was until his mom's younger sister started screaming that something was looking inside her window. So the stepdad grabbed his pew-pew, ran into the bedroom, but by the time he got there, whatever it was gone. The thing was, however, the bottom of the bedroom window was 7 feet off the ground. The top of it was about 8.5 feet. So whatever this thing was really tall. But it didn't end there. Sometime later, Chris's mom and her sisters were outside in the woods exploring the property. They had been given explicit instructions by their stepdad to not go down near the river that ran through the property. But of course, they didn't listen. And by the time they got to the river, the sun was starting to set. And that's when they saw it. It was this hairy humanoid figure that was by the river's edge drinking water. Now, they didn't know what this thing was, but they decided to run back home. And as they were running, they could hear the bellowing screams from this creature. They could feel it in their bodies as they were running back to the house. And when they got back, they told their stepdad what they had seen, and he grabbed his pew-pew again, went outside, and fired off a round. He wound up staying up the whole night keeping guard in case whatever this thing was came to the house. Thankfully it didn't, and shortly after this, the stepdad and Chris's grandmother wound up selling this property and moving somewhere far away. Now, that sounds like a Bigfoot story if I've ever heard one, but what do you think that could have been? Have you ever seen anything like this in Appalachia or even where you're from? My DMs are always open if you want to share your stories.